Yes, welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, subs and grubs, and all you motherless goats in between. My name is Jack Cypher, and today on Russ1an Rascals, it is the release day of Update 6.9. Wargaming has given us quite a few new things to look forward to, and it is finally here. One of the biggest changes that we have seen today is the big HP buffs of all Tier 10 heavy tanks, and in my personal opinion, this is a backhanded way to counter overpowered lights, I guess you could say. It's yet to be seen whether that's working or not. They just told us that it's supposed to make heavy gameplay a lot more enjoyable, but well, it's yet to be seen how that's going to play out. Second biggest change, well, actually no, before we get into that, one quick note, the Tiger 2 has gotten a new legendary camouflage, so if you didn't know that, go get it on your Tiger 2 because it looks epic. Now, for the content of today's video, we're going to be looking at one of the biggest changes, the new Japanese tank destroyers. Now, there's a lot of controversy over whether these tanks are overpowered or not. In my opinion, they're very unattractive, every single one of them. This one looks like a lunchbox with a barrel on it. And so we have the Cheeto SPG or self-propelled gun, and then we have the Hori Type 1 through 3, starting with the Type 1 at Tier 8, and moving up to the Tier 9. This one actually has quite... It reminds me of the new Tier 9 American light tank, the T92E1. Still very ugly. And finally, the Jagdpanzer E100 Cop Off with the legendary Katana camouflage. Yeah, just, in my opinion, ugly. Leave a comment in the section below whether you think it's ugly or not, but do not judge me for my opinion because I think it is ugly. So are these overcooked? We're going to find out today. We're going to be looking at we're going to be looking at one game, and then we're going to go over to Blitzhanger for some stats. Starting with the Cheeto SPG. To buy this tank, it cost 1.3 million credits and 43,400 base XP. So for every single one of these tanks, it has the interesting ammo layout of one of the more iconic tanks, the ISU-130, the Tier 8 Premium. And so it's got the double AP. So you have your regular AP that does it has high penetration and low damage, and then you have your premium AP where you lose penetration but you go up in damage, and this is the same for all of them, and their HE pens aren't very amazing. It's above average for a lot of tanks, but it's still nothing through the roof. For the top gun on the Cheeto SPG, it's 105 caliber, so you're going to be averaging for normal AP, you're going to be averaging about 310 damage, but most people are going to be using, oh, that's interesting. Most people are going to be using their premium ammunition. Sorry, my brain wandered off right there. So we just want to go through these low tiers pretty quickly. When you angle up, it's pretty decent armor. You got that frontal plate, but this one has not lovely, but a lightly armored hatch. The verticals on this thing are not going to be well armored. The excuse me. The spaced armor on the gun mantlet, of course, you're not going to be able to penetrate. Why would you be able to penetrate that? And the frontal top plate, like heavies, is highly armored, and the bottom plate is lowly armored. So I think it's going to be decent, but that one's definitely not overcooked. Moving over to the Hori Type 1, you've got the same AP layout. You've got decent gun handling, 120 caliber. So you're not at the Russian 122, but you are at 120. So you're going to be getting decent damage out of this one. And nasty gun mantlet. It's got a big old one right there. So this one's going to be getting good bounces. Your verticals are weak. Your lower plate, very bottom lower plate, is well armored. Your mid lower plate is not armored at all. and then your top plate is well armored, and then you have the flat spot like the KV tanks and the Russian lines. So that's going to be easily penetrated. Interesting tier 8, but nothing amazing. Hori Type 2, this is where it starts to get better. The first gun on this thing is pretty identical to the gun of the mouse, but then when you move up to tier 9, you have amazing penetration and gun handling. Just look at that, tier 9, 340 millimeters of penetration with an average 545. And so it's really interesting how they make these work, but I think they're going to be fun. I think this one is starting to range into overpowered. Like I said, it looks like the T92E1 and decent stats, but look at this. You've got iffy verticals. If you angle those up, you've got good verticals. The gun mantlet, of course, is spaced, but then you've got that lovely front slant, and that's going to be where you're going to get most of your bounces on. You've got very, very weak frontal plate, and then you've got a strong lower plate. And so this tank is going to be weird to play. I think it's going to be fun. It's decently mobile, but I think this is where we started to get overcooked. And finally, we have the Hori Type 3 in the game, known as just the Hori. And this is where we get into overpowered, ladies and gentle folks. So your DPM without running anything special, crew skills, stuff like that, is 3.3k. That's good DPM. It has the same setup for the shells and everything, just like the rest of the line. And you have with the regular ammunition, you have the 560 alpha with the good pen. Actually, no, with the not as good pen. And then you have a 545 alpha with your Pramo. And then you have 85 mils of pen on your HE with a 640 average. That's good. It's average, but it's not amazing. Gun handling is very, very good. It's very nice for handling. Depression and elevation is pretty basic. It's kind of funny because they add in turret traverse speed. It doesn't have a turret, so I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that. Very mobile tank. It's not super fast like, say, the Grill 15 or the Object 263, but it is decently fast compared to other tanks such as the T110E3 or the Jagdpanzer E100. Concealment is pretty good. When you fire, you lose quite a bit, but it's honestly not that bad. Now we get into some overcooked armor right here because we've got that flat slant right here on the front of it, but it's still about 250. We're going to go into a 3D model in a sec, but it's still pretty good armor. Your verticals are probably your weakest spot, and along with your frontal plate, but it's still good. Now, guys, if you get around the side of the back of this thing, HE it to Kingdom Come because it is weak on the sides. Do not try and side scrape in this tank. It is not going to go well for you. I'm going into a 3D model. We got this here. See, it looks... Does anyone, if you're watching this, go in the comments below. I want to find out if someone else agrees with me how ugly this thing is, because it is... Ugh. Anyways... So, your frontal plate, not amazing. Now, your bottom plate, 506 millimeters of effective armor. So, that's actually going to be very helpful. Right up here, you got about 270. So, depending on how you're slanted, it's going to be iffy if anyone's going to penetrate that. This part's definitely going to be penetrated. This, though, it's got about 230 effective armor thickness. No, 260 effective armor thickness. And then we get up to these verticals, and we're at 250. So you're probably going to be needing to load Pramo to be penetrating through this depending on what you're in. Mediums, you're definitely going to be wanting to get along the side of this. But yeah, we've got super weak armor on the sides and on the back. The back especially, we're only running about 60 millimeters. And on the side, we're averaging 90 on the sides. It's even lower through the tracks, so if you can get through the tracks, you definitely want to HE it through right there. But yeah, Very, very easily penetrated. Now we're going to get into a little bit of gameplay from today. Come on. Oh. Woo. Let's jump into Blitz. There we are. Yeah, so this is by Tonks from the ABA clan. Actually an ally of my clan, Scorp. If you don't know, ask me for the Discord. It's an open server. Anyways, she's going to have a good game. She's going to have a really good game in this thing, but you're going to be shown that the people are doing excessively well in this, because for the amount of damage she does and the award that she gets for it, the bar is set high. And so her and one other heavy tank have gone on the left side, on the C side, not C side SEA, but just plain old capital C. And they're not gonna really get any, not really gonna get any help. Like said in other videos, just because I'm a YouTuber doesn't mean I know how to talk. But Tonks is gonna use her teammates that have gone the opposite direction to her advantage. So one of the biggest things about TDs is no matter where you go, you want to use your team spotting to your advantage. Even if they don't go to the direction that you go, if you have an open shot, just like Tonks does right now, you're gonna be getting pretty good shots. Like, look at that, AMX 50V. Ha! Armor? What armor? So, I'm gonna be pumping right into the front of that thing without any problems. It would be kind of hilarious if this tank bounced off the front of a AMX 50B. Now, T92E1, I would not be 100% surprised, because I shoot those things in an Object 268 Chaser and bounce them. I hate those things. I hate T92E1s more than I hate Sheridans. That's just my honest opinion. What I do love about this tank is the sound of the gun. It's got that lovely gun that... It's got the sound that the... Oh, that's a sad shot. It's got the sound of the gun on the SU-152. Just so satisfying to shoot. Anyway, she's going to be moving up, and you're going to see the effective penetration right here. That's a VK 72.01K. That's got really good armor on the sides and on the frontal plate, on the top plate. Low armor on the bottom plate, but still, no problems. M48 patent, that's not even a comparison to the power of this gun. But still, look at the armor on that. There's a couple spots that we could bounce, and I think auto aim got her right there. We all have those kind of shots. It's okay, Tonks. But yeah, you're going to see in a little bit, the tortoise is what's even more amazing. Not the side shot that we're going to get right here, but moving. When the tortoise moves to face us, you will see the only thing we can't pen is the gun mantlet. And for everything else, the tortoise has amazing armor. That's what it's known for. That's what those tanks are for. People don't get the tortoise to have amazing speed and mobility. They get the tortoise for one, the amazing DPM, and two, the effective armor. And this thing just plows right through it. So I think that's going to be a problem for a lot of tier 9s. I'll see. I'm grinding the ST1 right now to get the IS4, and I'm going to see how much these things penetrate me depending on how I angle up. But that was a lovely bounce, because if you think about it, if those two TDs that just shot ABA, Tonks from ABA, sorry Tonks, if those two TDs had been aiming correctly, they should have penetrated that. And I think auto aim got her again right there. But if you think about it, they should have penetrated that shot with the size of gun that they have. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Do I think this is overcooked? Yes, I think it's overcooked. I really do. So we bounced 1.2k damage, and you're going to see it right here. Masterclass 1, great job Tonks, with a Confederate medal, and 4.6k damage dealt, 2.5k XP earned, pretty much no credits, but hey, whatever. 2 destroyed. But this shows the gun hand. This game showed how well the gun handling is for this tank. It's just so much fun. Just watching it. You really can't get bored watching this thing with that good of games. But the armor effectiveness and the gun handling, that's what this game showed. Really, we don't have any games so far. It's too early in the run to have any games for brawling. But I think it's going to go really, really well, except for tanks that have a lower set mantlet and good depression. You can get right in there if a Ho-Ri tries to face hug you. Put in the comments below if you have any replays for the Ho-Ri or any of the tanks in this line, and we'll definitely make sure to get that. Join our Discord. Send in some pictures of the new Tiger camo if any of y'all have it. I really want to see what it looks like in game. But yeah, I hope this video was informational. Again, tell me in the comments below how we did, what we could do better. The Discord link and the email will be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed your time in Russian Rascals. Again, I hope it was informational. Do not forget, stay safe out there. Don't get this virus. It's not good at all. And we would not like to have our viewers being stuck at home with a bad virus watching our videos, because that would make us feel bad. So, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, subs and grubs, and all you motherless goats in between, my name is Jack Cypher, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.